Good day, guys. Hope you guys are good. So we're back with another one. And so the first video we discussed from number 15 up until number 11. So in this video we'll be discussing from number 10 up until number 1. So this is the second part of the video. So we start in this side. Number 10. Let's go.
Number 10 is Eminem. And Eminem, the reason why I put Eminem in this picture is because of his lyricism. You want to talk about his skin? His lyricism. I think reviving Drake.
Now, I always wanna understand, bruh.
So
I'm not gonna let you off the hook.
Although that video, like, we were talking about that content, so I think we should continue. I think you were asking questions about Eminem. What was your question? We wanted to count, I think.
So okay, my brother, this brother, he asked my brother if Eminem's skin plays a role. And so I honestly want to refute that, and I'm also going to reference some lyrics from Eminem. Eminem's greatest album, in my opinion, The Eminem Show. On the song White America, he discussed this, kind of narratives people are having about him. The things that people say, like for example, he says that his skin, his complexion plays a role. Eminem on that song, he said, you guys when saying that, when promoters and record labels were not looking at him before Dr. Dre signed him, people don't realize that Eminem once tried to commit suicide because of how hard things were in his life. So he's saying things like, you guys weren't saying the same things when I was having a hard time in my life. So now the fact that I'm one of the greatest rappers of all time, I revived Dr. Dre as he revived me. You guys are saying that. So do you think it's fair for you to say that just because Eminem accomplished certain things, he's saying that his skin, his complexion plays a role? You are not saying that when Eminem was facing backlash back in '97.
I hear what you're saying.
That's okay. Yeah, because I think they're not close.
Yeah, no, 2 minutes. I think two things that are polar opposites can exist in one thing, and I'll tell you what. The fact of his skin can and has played a role, not in his way, right? I want to show you the bigger picture. People who own these record labels, right, were of some sort, right? You get that. So that also says, whether we like it or not, it plays a role, right? But also, what you're saying is true. You worked them hard. You worked to get into the whole hip hop thing. And again, we can't take it away because it's his passion.
You can't take it away from him.
So that's why I was like, two things can be true in the same aspect. I think the bigger picture, then you can start seeing the different aspects that play the part. So, sharp.
No, we fuck with Eminem, bro. That's our guy.
We do. Just wanted to
realistic about
just to spread it out, so we can continue.
Okay, so
go 10.
So number 10, I have Rakim, one of the greatest MCs of all time, a pioneer of hip hop. He put on so many rappers by inspiring them, and teaching them this beautiful thing of hip hop. Like I said, if it wasn't for Rakim, we wouldn't have an album like Illmatic, because he made hip hop so poetic. So I think he's one of the greatest, and I think his catalog is also ornate with the help from the likes of the Pete Rock, Mali Miles, Eric B, and he also has one of the greatest debuts albums of all time. And I also the Painful.
No, I get double with Eric B. I'm saying solo album.
Yeah. So he has four or five albums with Eric B. So and then he also has a solo career.
Yeah, I think his solo career is only 3 albums. He just dropped his 3rd album, I think, last year.
No, his solo career is 4 albums.
Is it 4? Is it The Master,
The 18th Letter, The 7th Day?
Oh yeah, Saya.
So that's Rakim for me. So shout out to Rakim.
Shout out to Rakim as well, like for making his own rap albums without using profanity as well. Yeah.
Hi, Bafetina. You guys have a lot to say. I guess that's your platform. Number 10, I guess, common sense. I think the name says it all. He brought common sense in terms of hip hop, lyricism from 0 to 100. Clean rapper that didn't use the profanity or the guise of guns to give you a hard song. And I think for me, he's my number 10. My number 9, ish. Oh, wait. So now we're gonna start arguing with serious, man. So it's Eminem.
Let's go.
Shout out. Yeah. But as I said, I think for me, I grew up with Eminem. I understood his impact. I think 8 Mile was sort of a bird's eye view into where he came up, right? Yeah. So I think for me, lyricism wise, he's always been there. My question was, in terms of new listeners who don't know him, their impactfulness of listening to him, what would it be? But that's okay. I think for me, number 9, that's why I placed him there. He'll always be one of the best, man. White boy to do it in a black country. You know, what's up, Eminem? You know.
So at number 9, I have MF Doom. You know, rest in peace to the late MF Doom. You know, just remember to spell the name with all caps. You know, one of the greatest lyricists. The greatest.
Do you know why though? He okay, so continue. It's fine.
No, ask.
Do you know why you have to spell it with all caps?
I don't know.
So there's a book called The Gospel of Hip Hop, right?
I think KRS-One.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to mention that.
So in that book, KRS divulges that when you are writing a name of power,
yeah, the same with
it
KRS-One.
should be in all caps. Yeah. So it was just something interesting
just
that I really wanted to add there.
You guys
but
it's right. But yeah.
Yeah. So again, he's also one of the most unique rappers of all time. How he came up with this mask. Like shout out to Victor Van Doom and Gladiator. You know, he was inspired by Victor Van Doom and Gladiator to rap with that mask. And he also again has one of the greatest collab albums with Madlib. So shout out to MF Doom. He also has an amazing solo career. Shout out to MF Doom. Rest in peace to MF Doom, the greatest MC of all time, the greatest lyricist of all time. We're talking about a man who just rhymed syllable after syllable. Shout out to his unique voice and shout out to how humble he was. Shout out to MF Doom.
For my number 9 would be Scarface, and the reason for Scarface is because when I listen to Scarface, I always have a feeling of a Tupac, a DMX. There is like the rough side that he brings, the reality of hip hop that he brings to the music that he puts out. So for number 8, like we're gonna keep the short and simple. Like number 8 is gonna be Jay-Z. Jay-Z, I think Jay-Z for me it's gonna be definitely for his, I don't want to say bragging lifestyle or whatever, but the way he put out his music, he has this thing in his persona that regardless of like the things that they say he's doing whatever, he's a hustler, this in his music.
Big shout out to Jay-Z. So at number 8 I have Andre 3000. Yeah, at number 8 I have Andre 3 Stacks, the other half of Outkast. He's also one of the most unique rappers. He also has his own flow. He has, people will say that he doesn't have a solo album, so that basically narrows down the quality of his music. But I think with Aquemini, Stankonia, 80 Lions, and the first album, the debut album, which dropped in '94. I forgot the name of the album. I think Three Stacks has solidified himself as an amazing rapper. Shout out to Three Stacks, and we're still waiting for that solo album. We need that solo album, Three Stacks. Shout out.
Hey, Three Stacks, we here. We waiting for that solo album. I think for me it's not a matter of Siamzonda Lomchita. I think for me, as you said, comparing the people who are on this list and the work that they've put in, I think it would be a very hard thing for us to just put him on this list actually, because I feel like his body of work is very minimalistic. So he's part of the group, yes, but he's never given us anything that had of himself. Everything was with a duo, right? And I've been with a duo. duos work in synergy. So when you're alone, that's a different type of album. That's why it's pretty hard for niggas to leave a group and create something. So for me, that's the only reason. I'm not saying he's not dope in terms of rhyming and that, but I think it would be it would be really bad of me to say these niggas on this list, we can put him there. I feel really genuine about that. I still feel like, how can you put him above, let's say, Jay-Z or DMX, when these niggas have a whole discography of different types of albums with different types of songs
from different eras as well.
So that's why it's not a hate thing. It's a give us something that we can then say we can put it against this. And if you go Outkast, we can say, okay, let's go for groups. Outkast is up there, right?
Not by nature, like that's.
But then himself, honestly,
individual.
I still feel like we need a little bit more respect and no disrespect. Number 9, number 8 is Big Pun. I'll just give you one word that he made famous. I'm not a player. We leave it there. Move on, my nigga.
No, move on to number 6.
No, number 6, okay.
Number
MF
7.
Doom. Yeah, number 7. Oh, number 7. Yeah, this is somebody's number one. So it's B.I.G., the Notorious himself, the life after death. Put him at number 7 because I still feel like, excuse the pun, Biggie's overrated. The reason why I still feel like he's overrated is Biggie was good in terms of rhyming.
Storytelling.
From the years that I've listened to hip hop, there's way bigger things that come after just rhyming. He was the best in rhyming that I get. But social commentary, introspective lyricism, he had none of that. I think for me, at the time where he was, the golden era, hip hop just needed rhyming, right? And then this is why you see Pac was different from him. Because Pac did the rhyme, but he also put a lot of social commentary in it. And I'll speak about Pac.
Number 1, but then
So for me, I put him at number 7. No disrespect, I understand New York, but I still feel like whether we like it or not, in terms of his artistry, he had a lot to do.
So at number 7, I have Black Thought, one of my favorite rappers of all time. And he also has one of the greatest solo careers and group careers with the Roots, and also his solo career. And I think he's also, when it comes to lyricism, I think he's the only rapper who's behind MF Doom. And I think he is one of, he's an amazing rapper. He's unique. He also brings social commentary. He also gives you game. He's a father. He raps like a father. And he has been so active in hip hop. His consistency from starting in '93 till now. So shout out to Black Thought. Yeah.
So for my number 7 will be DMX, right? And for me, I love the rap side of hip hop, right? Because life is tough, right? Charts for DMX. Somebody was topping the charts for that year, right? So yeah, DMX, that's number 7, and my number 6 would be Big L. Even if he had like a little bit of discography, only one official album under his, but then his rhyming skill, his wordplay, making anything rhyme. So yeah, I'll put Big L number 6.
So now I understand that this is a list. So now would you say that Big L is better than X, J, Eminem, Kendrick, and KRS?
In what?
Based on your list, is he better?
Now this is just stereotype list, of course. For me, if Big L had more time or more albums,
basing it on what if, not on what you have.
Yeah,
that is right.
Basically, like judging by the first album, his debut album, Kendrick's debut album, and who did you put up? KRS. Big L had like more rhymes.
So at number 6, I have Kendrick. I love how they explain Kendrick, so I'm just going to be, minimal. explaining about Kendrick. So I think he's one of my favorite, and I think he's the greatest rapper from the 2010s. I think he's better than Cole, he's better than Drake, he's better than the Griselda rappers, he's better than each and every rapper that came from the 2010 up until now. I think with To Pimp a Butterfly, GKMC and Damn, that 3-album run made him what he is today. Shout out to Kendrick, he has held it down for the West Coast. Yeah, shout out. And he also had one of the biggest DIC hip hop back in 2024. So yeah.
Yeah, number 6 on my side is Doom. I think you've said a lot about Doom, the mask and everything. And I think Doom raps, MF Doom himself. I think a lot of people need to maybe start listening to this homie, because a lot of people actually don't know about MF Doom.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of people think MF Doom is a...
Still have to listen to it.
A lot of homies think MF Doom is a sort of a working Popeye, man. What's this? A cartoon, you know that? I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like they've seen the cartoons, so they don't think he's a rapper, because they probably never had a chance to listen to it. Right. Okay. So just a shout out to Mr. MF. I think number 5 they already spoke about, Rakim. They said a lot. Again, New York. He had a run in terms of that. I think in terms of hip hop, where it started, he changed the movement of how we also put together words, as they said. So I think he had a solid discography as well, apart from just him with Eric B.
So at number 5, this is where I have Eminem. Now this is where I have my favorite rapper. This is my favorite rapper of all time. I don't think there's a rapper that I enjoy the most. The very same way I enjoy Eminem, and I think just the way he's able to put words together and just give you all these syllables, and also rapping at a fast pace, and on top of that with the production from Dre, Scott Storch. So I think Eminem, he also has one of the greatest 3-album runs with the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, and then the Eminem Show. And I think he deserves all the praise and sometimes all the criticism that he...
So those 3 albums versus Kendrick's 3 albums.
Eminem. Yeah. Shout out to Eminem. Shout out to Marshall Mathers.
Continue working.
Shout out. This is the guy. Shout out to him, guys. I love this guy. Yeah.
So for my number 5 is gonna be J. Cole. Now you must bear in mind, like, this list is about to become very personal. Even in the comments, I think you will also have your own top 5, right?
Yeah, send us your top 15 as well if you want.
So now top 5 is gonna be a very bit, but I think it's gonna be similar artists here. So for me, number 5 will be J. Cole, the boy from NC, Net for Life. The reason why J. Cole chose, J. Cole has a lot of, in his discography, right? The metaphors, social commentary. When we put up Nas and J. Cole, like his lyricism, right? Regardless of everything that's been happening in the past 1 or 2 years with the Kendrick and Lamar, everything, Kendrick and Drake thing, I think J. Cole stands out. Right? Even if you say To Pimp a Butterfly, that's I think his personal opinion. To say To Pimp a Butterfly is the best hip hop album of all time. I guess. J. Cole, I think he has a lot of conceptual albums. For Your Eyes Only, you have Forest Hill Drive, you have the recent one, kind of again,
The Fall Off.
So his discography is just, he's
and Kids on Drugs.
KOD. So now we go for number 4, Big Smalls. That's for me. Big Smalls, his storytelling, as he said, like my brother said, that his social community, he was not, I wouldn't say he wasn't tapped into society that much. He was just in his prime, let's put it like that. He was the first 2 albums, he was probably gonna get into it, so we never really got to get the other albums. But from Ready to Die to Life After Death, you can say this nigga put himself out there to say he deserved to be top 4.
So at number 4,
Before, yeah, sure. Hey, my feet. Always have
Can I ask?
So the thing with Biggie is not per se to say he wouldn't have gotten into into his social commentary. I think there's different rappers for different types.
For different
right?
types,
And I feel like at the time, and maybe
in hip hop,
at the time in hip hop,
the movement of hip hop,
we required a lot more
gangster rappers,
more social commentary for what was happening versus just saying, "Yo, I'm selling." You get what I'm trying to say?
That's what
am I making sense?
I get what you say. I think that's
At
what
the
made
time.
Pac stand out the most from all the rappers from his generation. Like the only reason why people always put Pac up there was the things he was actually addressing in his music, the life he was actually living in yeah.
So Biggie was a
Good rapper, yeah. Good
damn
artist.
good artist. I think that's what I'm saying. But I still feel like there's different types of there's rappers that just want to make you feel good, right? And then there's rappers that want to dive deep. So now there is the difference, because another person would come with a list that will probably put Biggie up there, right? Because they feel like they'd rather have that style of commentary in terms of their hip hop, right? And then I'd come in and be like, no, man, I want the
type of social commentary.
The horror, So again, that's why these lists are really subjective.
Very biased.
They're
because
very
it's
subjective
from
to
your
what
own.
I feel about at the time. So yeah, sure.
So like in number 5, Jay-Z, one of the most consistent rappers of all time and the mogul of hip hop. He took hip hop to the zenith. He showed you that you can actually make this thing more than just the hip hop career, and just monetize yourself, monetize your output, and just become a wealthy person. Because at the end of the day, we're chasing humility, being wisdom, and then wealth. So I think Hov has done so amazing when it comes to that. So shout out to all, and I think he
But what are your thoughts in terms of Hov is sold out?
So all I'm saying is, guys, I'm someone who, for me to believe in something or for me to see something, I need to be rendered with evidence. So Hov, you might assume and accuse Hov for doing all these things, but if you don't give people evidence of if truly Hov did this shit, then you can't say Hov did that. Because at the end of the day, Puff Daddy, you've been accusing Puff Daddy of doing these things, and at the end of the day, the things that he was doing, they came to light. So now we have to reproach Puff Daddy. So if Hov did all that, and I'm not saying that he didn't, all I'm saying is I don't know.
Nah, man, nigga, I wasn't going there.
Just saying, like,
no,
so
I understand sold out that he neglected the black rappers with signing with the white man, with signing with Def Jam. I understand that one I understand, but there's no proof for that. You can't say Hov sold out. How did
Do you know Dame Dash is actually now speaking out?
Yeah, Jay-Z,
I wanted to
exactly.
get
Dame Dash is saying things about Jay-Z now.
And you must
isn't
consider
that
that. Wait,
to say it's
before that,
starting to sound like evidence?
Before just saying Dame Dash, you must understand the relationship Dame Dash and Jay-Z had. They were not just friends, like, these were business partners, and this guy is saying all these things about Jay-Z.
Dame Dash, all I'm saying is Dame Dash right now is kind of mad that Jay-Z ain't helping him, because you need to remember, guys, Jay-Z and Dame Dash, they've always had this secret animosity for each other, because Jay-Z has always felt like Dame Dash is he's kind of
detached or what?
like he's delaying him. So that one I don't know. If Dame Dash has some things to say, just say it. Stop giving us idea. Say all the
he's
things.
been saying it.
He doesn't.
There's a podcast where he's been having conversations about this.
Okay, Sharp, wait, you have Kanye West on your list, I think. Right? Do you know who pushed for Kanye West to be signed? Was it
Rock Nation?
Rock Nation.
I don't know who.
It was Dame
Dash.
Dash. It was not Jay-Z. Jay-Z, they were looking at Kanye West as just the producer. Dame Dash saw more than that.
We can also say the same thing about Scarface. Scarface also Kanye West came to Scarface and he felt like, Joe, you aren't really a good rapper. You just a nigga who's needed behind the decks. So Jay-Z also felt that way. So if you're going to criticize Jay-Z for what Scarface did, why aren't you saying the same thing about Scarface? Scarface.
We're talking about
Scarface was one of the few rappers who heard about Kanye West, and he just said you were not good enough when it comes to pen to paper. Just give me the production. So Hov, at least he gave Kanye West a chance.
Okay.
He helped him. Same
No,
way Kanye
no,
West.
no, I don't mind that. I'm just saying, in terms of, remember, history will come back and revisit itself as we grow, right? And there will always be questions around Jay-Z's legacy. And the questions will never be on how much money he made. It would be in terms of
how he accumulated,
how he did it, who he was. And these questions...
The type of people.
Number 4, KRS-One.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knowledge reigns supreme over everybody. I think that's the sound of the police. Just to give you a couple of songs. I think for me, I've listened to this gentleman for a while. They call him the teacher for a reason. I've read also the book, The Gospel of Hip Hop. And for me, in terms of the movement, the culture, understanding what is hip hop and not just the mainstream, but understanding hip hop to its core, he had a big influence on me, so he's my number 4. Number 3, Nostradamus.
It's quite crazy that we all have the same person.
Number 3.
So
this were actually separate lists. Nobody was looking into who did this idea. So
yeah, no, Illmatic is still Illmatic, Godson. Like his discography is as you know, fully fledged with substance. In terms of hip hop, I think I'm even enjoying him more now with his latest albums, King's Disease, to show that good wine, working matures with time. So yeah, my number 3, Nostradamus.
So I also have Nas at number 3, the Ghetto Reporter. You know, the man who released the Bible of hip hop at the age of 19. So I think also his just consistency, the longevity that Nas has had from starting in 93, Life at the Barbecue, up until 2025, which with the Light Years, with a collab album with DJ Premier. Shout out to Nas, shout out to Nostradamus, shout out to Nasir Jones.
Yeah, so top 3 definitely has to be Nas. As they've said, I mean, this is one exceptional artist we can say. His consistency, I don't want to say without Nas there wouldn't be a J. Cole, but his consistency made a J. Cole be, you know, a J. Cole. And then we should also say again that as they said, at 19 he had this kind of a new state of mind. Is it the song where he said, I don't know how to start this, and then he just dropped the most timeless verse. And then I wanted to say something like about Nas. I don't know why I keep forgetting this thing, but there's something that I wanted to add on Nas, but I think we should go to number 2 now. Add when I remember it. Number 2 for me is Rakim. And the reason for Rakim, I think we mentioned Rakim, that he had they're the pioneers of hip hop, if you knew it, from the 80s, him and Eric B. And then doing his whole albums without profanity, I think that's underrated, especially being from black communities and having all this, you know, experiences, and then getting into a record, not saying things like, not going off on a record. I think that's exceptional. So yeah, for me, Rakim will have to be number 2 for his wordplay and his.
So at number 2, I have Tupac. I have Machiavelli the Don. I think I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm like, okay, I don't wanna, you know, ruin everything. The only reason why I have the guy that I have in number 1 over Tupac is solely based on subjectivity. I think I enjoy Biggie more than I enjoy Tupac. But if I'm being honest, I think Pac is
way more bigger than Biggie.
I don't wanna put it. He works more. He's worthy in hip hop.
His impact.
His impact.
So he's way bigger.
He's bigger than Big.
And I also say that I don't normally feel bad for Tupac that, you know, he died. I think like Pac he saw this that he was about to die.
Okay.
Hence why he put on all this work during that 4-year run.
Okay.
And like compared to Biggie, Big Pun, Biggie, we can say their lives were cut short. But with Pac, it's like he knew that his time was done.
With Pac, like you say, it was long, it was fully lived, and then for Big L it was
cut short. All I'm saying is stop saying Biggie became popular because of the beef. Don't say that.
I'm not saying that.
Don't say that.
I did say with Ready to Die. You can work on Ready to Die.
Tupac.
Biggie was hot.
Tupac, listen, at the end of the day, whatever you face will have an impact in your life. You can also say that if it wasn't for the shooting back in 94, we wouldn't have the All Eyes on Me Tupac. We don't know where Tupac would have been if it wasn't for the shooting. But the anger that he had, how he wanted to avenge himself, gave us albums like All Eyes on Me, The Seventh Day, even a song like Hit 'Em Up. So we can say that, so you can say thanks to that shooting. If it wasn't for that shooting, Tupac wouldn't have released an album like All Eyes on Me. Is that what you say?
Basically, I don't know. If that album wouldn't be there if Pac wasn't short.
So you need to thank,
but that also negates the fact that you're feeling as if the Pac that was there was never there. I think maybe let me get in a muhara. Get in spice a little. That's
okay, listen, Bo. Let's finish Immortal Technique because you're still going to talk about Tupac.
Yeah,
okay. No, let's finish Tupac because if we talk about Tupac, we don't need to say. So let's finish the Tupac. So what I'm saying is, yes, you can say that. I can agree with you. If he didn't got shot, he wouldn't have had that anger, right? But that also negates the fact that the anger comes from within him anyways. So that's him projecting himself in an anger form. So what I'm trying to say, just to bring it back, what I'm trying to say is, we can't also say, yeah, it's just because of the shooting. No, it is Pac. The fact is, it is relative to what happened to him. So he was, let's say, taking out what was within because of that, but it was from within.
The fury and everything was instilled.
And then this the whole thing, Biggie was because I feel like Biggie was Biggie from get-go. He was good. Everybody knew Biggie was good.
Right? Even Pac knew Biggie.
Everybody, Braga, even today we know it.
Come on, dog. I agree.
Biggie was good.
Biggie was good. But Pac is the greatest of all time.
Yeah. So this is why we started the podcast because
and for free.
So please hit the like, subscribe.
As you can see, we have like 17 likes. So I think you niggas should, up this number.
So Ejo, now for Immortal Technique.
That's number 2, ne?
Yeah. Immortal Technique from my side. If you haven't heard about this homie, please go listen to him, his discography. He has one of the baddest songs that was ever made. And I'm a Tupac fan, right? But Immortal Technique has one of the baddest songs ever made in hip hop. It's called Dance with the Devil. If you haven't listened to it, please go listen to that song. Comment about it on our buttons, and then we'll talk about it.
Whose real name was William.
So number 1, guys.
Yeah,
nigga. So who do you have as number 1? Oh yes,
so number 1. That's number 1. That is Biggie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're interchangeable, right? For a lot of people.
Yeah. I think my top 3 of all time is gonna always be Pac and Biggie and Nas. But it will always be those names. But yeah. So I think we're starting up this episode. So we're going on to our next episode. I don't know how you wanna wrap this up, guys.
Yo, shout out my homies. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
Remember, please feel free to drop us your top
opinions,
15.
What
you feel. If Romulela is cool, tell us. We're here for you.
We're here for you.
Press the buttons, and then we'll see you on the next episode.
Shout out and subscribe. Salute.